Today we stroll down a place once dominated by settlers from China and now known to this day as Petaling Street. Back in the olden days, when Malaysia is still known as Tanah Melayu, the Chinese had come to this country to work at the tin mines. However, during the Selangor Civil War, the tin mines were abandoned and the Chinese returned after the war only to find the mines flooded. Yap Zhi, an influential Chinese figure back then, had opened a tapioca mill on Petaling Street in his bid to persuade the Chinese to stay on. To this day, Petaling Street is sometimes called Chichongkai, which means Starch Factory Street in Cantonese, referring to its history as the center of production of tapioca flour back then.
For transportation, Petaling Street can be easily accessed by car. But locals and tourists would prefer to travel by means of public transportation such as the light rail transit, as the location is located in the heart of Kuala Lumpur, easily reached without the hassle of traffic. After reaching, one would need to walk, marveling in the cultures of the small Chinese community located in Petaling. There are also double-deckers available for tourists and locals to go around the historical trove.
The entrance itself is a work of architecture, applying traditional Chinese architectural style. The second style is the Art Deco style, which is very influential during the 1920s. One of the main architectural styles evident at Petaling Street, the Baba and Nyonya style. The current Petaling Street has different architectural styles, but still create a harmonic feel with it.
Heritage is another distinctive element in Petaling Street. Built by the Kuala Lumpur City Hall in 2003, the Petaling Street Gateway is the green-roofed red arches on either ends of the street, with a canopy in between to shield vendors and tourists from rain and shine. Next, the Xin Siya Temple. The temple was built by Captain Yap Zhi behind his residence in 1864. It is dedicated to patron deities of Xin Siya and Si Siya, which Yap prayed to help him defeat his enemies and defend Kuala Lumpur during the Civil War, which occurred in the 1870s. Located at Jalan Tun HS Lee, the Kwanti Temple was built in 1887. It is one of the few remaining old buildings complete with a unique altar and typical architecture. Since it is strategically sited, it is thronged by devotees all year round and is also loved by tourists and shutterbugs. Lastly, the Sri Mahamariamman Temple. Built in 1873, it is proclaimed as the oldest and richest Indian temple in KL.
Today we're here to guide you through the must-tries of the Petaling Street. Firstly is their infamous multi-flavored mochi, made of glutinous rice flour covered in peanut crumbs. It has been famous for decades for its choices of flavors. It doesn't cost much, just about 5 ringgit. Secondly, it'll be the herbal tea, costing at about 2 ringgit. Thirdly, it'll be the roasted chestnuts. Fourth, it'll be the beef noodles, located at a kopitiam near the Petaling Street named Lai Fong. Fifth, it'll be the clam mee hoon, aka the lala noodles. I definitely do not encourage Muslims to try it as it contains alcohol. Sixth, it'll be the sweet potato balls. Eighth, it'll be the traditional Chinese pastry. Shout out to those who love egg tarts, as this is one of the most authentic egg tarts you can find. According to the owner of this pastry shop has been around for more than 100 years. And this concludes our food element in Petaling Street.
Street art is also one of the important elements of Petaling Street, one of which is the Kwai Chai Hong Restoration Project by the Baitran Management. This project involves 10 shophouses and a hidden landway between Lorong Panggun and Petaling Street, which is once home to Chinese settlers in the past. The long-abandoned landway has now been revived into a street art masterpiece, featuring 6 interactive thematic murals, each with a story to tell. These murals depict the lives of early Chinese settlers living in the areas during the 1960s, which aims to retell the forgotten stories of the past. The paintings evokes a sense of belonging for Malaysians who can identify and relate to these stories. The murals were drawn by 5 artists in total, and it took them 2 months to complete all the artworks.
哥哥仔，埋嚟梳扶下啦！見你咁靚仔，係咁意俾你打個折又點話啫？
嚟，師傅贈你幾個字，記得貼喺大門口，以後就出入平安，大吉大利啦！
阿哥啊，快啲啦，你好鬼慢啊！咪嘈啦，細佬，我要打鐘先至得㗎。
Now vibrant and interactive street art has become a hotspot for both the locals and tourists. With a mere 5 minutes walk away from the Pasar Seni MRT station, visitors are able to relive the bygone era with 6 beautiful murals depicting the 1960s Chinatown at Kwai Tai Hong.